So, let's see what the Canadian Prime Minister's response to Trump's tariffs are. This is from Live Now from Fox. Let's check it out.
Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you, Martin Maria. It is a thrill for Francesco and I to be here. I didn't know you knew when I used to play hockey, AC/DC. That was our warm-up to Thunderstruck. It's amazing. You guys know everything. It sort of dates us, doesn't it, Rob? But hey, that was big. Here we go. Look, I'm thrilled to be here and just to spend a few moments with this amazing company, who you are, what you represent, as you just said, the diversity of Canada, but also the future of Canada. I just want to say a couple.
The future of Canada should be our 51st state. Thank you.
Words about the situation we're in with the trading the situation with the trade war, so to speak, with the United States and what it means. And it just goes back to what was just said. The opportunity that's...
Thank God they fixed the microphones out.
...created by tough times. I know...
Sounds like he's using my shitty microphone.
I know the story, but it's great to be here about how you repurposed this factory and these people when we were all hit with COVID, and how you serve the world. And it's a remarkable story. Now, on one level, what's going on with the tariffs, and we got, as you know, the auto tariffs this week from the United States, that's tough. That's tough. But this is an enormous opportunity for this company, for this country, and I think ultimately for America. And I just want to say a few words about what our strategy is right now and how that fits in. We're doing three things. We're going to fight, we're going to protect, and we're going to build. And all of them are important. Now, yeah. So that fight, the fight started with getting respect from the United States. Canada's a sovereign country. It doesn't matter who's in this role. There's only one title for the person who's in the role. My predecessor, myself, whoever comes after me, it's Prime Minister. It's not the thing that becomes.
So, respect. How about we take back all our protection for Canada? Is that considered respect?
Begins with G, but it's that we're a sovereign country. Now, we have that respect from the president. That's the first step. But the core of fighting at the moment is matching in an intelligent way. Can't be quite intelligent in some of the software that you guys are producing, but in an intelligent way against the tariffs that are being put in place. And so what we're doing is to have a maximum impact on the U.S., so it gets their attention, it makes them think, it makes them react, but the minimum impact on us here in Canada. So, for example, for the auto sector that you're leaders in...
So you're talking about just to keep on doing what you've been doing for years. Good plan.
We're not putting tariffs on auto parts. We're not putting tariffs on smart machines that make auto parts. We're not putting tariffs on software. We're not putting tariffs on anything that's part of your business that will make you successful.
Because we don't need anything from you guys.
Because we want you and those who work with you to be successes. We are putting tariffs on American vehicles that come into Canada and have unfair advantage in Canada and competing with us. But even there, we're giving those American companies an incentive to produce in Canada, to produce in Mexico, so they can get relief. So we're fighting in a way that makes the Americans think and protects our businesses. Now, the second thing we're doing is to protect our workers and protect our companies for the period of time it takes for the American government, the president ultimately, to realize what an amazing industry that you are leaders in. The North American auto sector as a whole is one sector. We are fighting the world as one sector. We have to stick together. In fact, we have to get closer together. And ultimately, that's the deal we will get. But until America's willing to sit down at the table for that, we got to protect workers, we got to protect companies. Those aren't just words. We're taking every dollar we get from tariffs that we put on, and we're recycling it back directly to the workers and companies that are affected. So there are layoffs that have started in the industry. Some of your clients, Stellantis, for example, a couple of weeks downtime at one of their factories. We're making sure that money goes to make sure those workers are made whole. We're also saying, and this is not an issue for the leading companies, but for some it will be, you don't have to pay your taxes for a while. You have to pay them ultimately when things get going again, or you can borrow directly from us to tide yourself over. Again, protecting the industry so that we can negotiate as a country from a position from strength. Last point, most important point. Ultimately, this is about building. It's about building our country. It's about building this industry. It's about building homes. It's about building new trade corridors. It's about making us more efficient. And we are going to focus 100% on that. We're going to get a lot of government out of the way in order to do that. Any dollar we put in place, it's going to catalyze the industry. So we announced last week, don't worry, I'm winding up. I'm not going to go on longer than Thunderstruck. But last week we announced $2 billion of money to help accelerate the transformation of exactly what Martin Ria does and the supply chain, the broader supply chain does in Canada to enhance the use of AI, to enhance the use of smart manufacturing equipment, to build the supply chains in Canada, because we want to be ready to take on the world once we get this deal. So we're fighting, protecting, we're putting ourselves in the place to build, and we're going to move forward. And it's going to be, it's going to be a rocky few months. Because it's going to take a while for the Americans to come to a realization that they can change parts of the trading system, but they're going to need to double down. We're all better off doubling down on an integrated auto sector. And this company and the Canadian industry is going to come out on top as part of that. And that's what your government is here to deliver for you. Thanks very much for everything.
All right, Canadian Prime Minister there, Mark Carney,
Mark Carney,
taking the United States to task over these auto tariffs the Trump administration has levied against all foreign-made cars. But we do want to talk about this, get some reaction from what we just heard there.
Well, there. Look at that. What are your thoughts on it? Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.